Hi, hello, and howdy. My name is Erin of Essentially Erin, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to get started with a video on how to wash and clean box braids. Now my goal is to obviously do this and minimize frizz. You can already see it's been several weeks, so I've got a lot of kind of root frizz that's happening here and some on like the actual braids themselves. I've got some decent grow out that's already happening, but I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you zoom in, you can see kind of the product buildup and like just the dandruff and sweat and grossness that our hair naturally does. It's just a lot more apparent when you have braids because your scalp is exposed. So today we are going to walk through step by step how to cleanse your box braids and your scalp while you're wearing them. Generally speaking, how often you have to do this is purely dependent on your lifestyle. If you are somebody that is like an active swimmer, or if you're somebody that works out very often, you're going to have to wash your box braids and your scalp more often than somebody that's probably a little bit more sedentary or much more casual wearer. There's some people that can go over a month without washing if they're not very active people. There's some people that have to wash every like 7 to 10 days. So it's very dependent on what your lifestyle is. So judge based off of what you're seeing your braids do. So the knowledge from today's videos is going to be a combination of things that I've seen in a couple of different creator videos where they talk about how to wash box braids. So I'm going to link their original videos below. We're going to see if this method works for me today. I'm actually really excited to try it out. What I'm not excited for is the weight that I'm going to experience with my braids once they are wet, because they're already very heavy and can impact your neck strength. I feel like I'm gonna have like the neck of the Hulk after this because my neck has just gotten the workout of its life these last couple of weeks. So we're gonna get this started because it is a relatively lengthy process. But before I jump in, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you can turn on the little notification icon so that you guys can get notifications anytime I come out with a new video. Be sure to check out also my other box braid videos. I have one on styling as well as what a video diary was of my first week with braids and how my experience went, both with my braider as well as the aftercare. With all that out of the way, let's jump in. So for the actual cleansing part of your braids, you're going to need a spray bottle. I only have the Flairosol bottle. From all the tutorials that I watched, you kind of need one of those like pinpoint spray bottles. So we're gonna see if this works for me today. But you're gonna need a spray bottle with water and you're gonna need a shampoo. Now, this is not a time to co-wash. You are going to want a shampoo that can actually really cleanse your scalp and the root of your hair, which is why I'm going to use a clarifying shampoo, as I need to make sure that I'm getting rid of all of the buildup on my scalp and my hair. So I am using the Verb Reset Clarifying Shampoo. If you guys have been around the channel for a while, then you know that this is actually one of my absolute favorite clarifying shampoos. I will link this in the section below. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take our hair kind of in sections. We're gonna take the spray bottle and spray the root of the scalp and hair. Then we're gonna take a little bit of the clarifying shampoo in our fingers, massage that into that row, and work our way across the rest of the head. All right, now that we've got a good lather and I feel like I have really cleansed around each root kind of ball area of each section, including the back, do not neglect the back of your head, move on to the next section. Oh, this feels so good. Just like when your hair is not in braids, using shampoo should be relegated to just your scalp area. As you rinse, it will rinse down the rest of your hair and cleanse it, but primarily shampoo should be used directly on the scalp, not on the rest of the hair. Yeah, I just found a star in my hair. This would have been from a photo shoot that I did here at home like a week ago. Stuff just gets lost in there. It's fine. Roll with it. All right, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do this to the rest of my head because that would be super boring. So I will come back as soon as I finished. Okay, so now that my scalp is thoroughly clarified in between all of the nooks and crannies, we are going to head into the shower. Now, when you're in the shower, generally speaking, I like to use warm water on my hair. It doesn't have to be hot, but warm water really helps open up the pores. That way, as the shampoo kind of runs down the hair follicle, it can start cleansing things out of the hair shaft. We are also going to add in a small amount of conditioner and running this over the braids, and then rinsing with warm water will also help to lock in moisture to help maintain the braid in its integrity as well as minimize frizz. Now, in all the videos that I watched and articles that I read, almost every single one of them said to grab a regular cotton towel to absorb the water. And I know what you're thinking, Erin, all of this time you told us cotton towels are bad, blah, blah, blah. I know, listen. You're probably wondering what I was thinking, but all I'm doing is exactly what the braided kings and queens before me have done. So I'm just trying to replicate it as best as possible. So we have wrapped up our hair for about 7 to 8 minutes to absorb the initial amount of water out of it. And I think that's what the cotton towel is for versus a microfiber towel. So we are going to take it down, see what's left. I do have my tea owl that was gifted to me. Absolutely love this thing. I've used it in a couple of videos before now, but I'm going to use this to try to grab a little bit more of the water out of the hair after we let it down. Oh gosh, it's so heavy. Guys, this towel is like soaked. Hello, you're going to die in 7 days. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they are definitely heavier. Oh my goodness. Okay, so while it is still damp, we want to do two things to try to minimize frizz once it's fully dry. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to put a little oil to reseal our ends, which will hopefully keep them from fraying any further. We are also going to apply oil all over the braids once it's fully dry, but while it's still damp, we're just going to put a little oil on the bottom in order to help lock in and seal that moisture in. After we've added that a little bit of oil, we are going to go ahead and apply mousse all over the hair, which will help it continue to lay flat, which will also reduce frizz. Now, we've already talked about in other videos how my hair is already starting to poke through these braids just because of the texture of my hair. So mousse isn't necessarily going to fix that, but it is going to help with some of this halo up top frizz and keep the hair laying flat. So the oil that I have chosen today is my Righteous Roots oil. If you guys have been around the channel for a while, then you know I absolutely love this oil. I love this company. It has so many great uses. It particularly mills together like a bunch of different oils that have a ton of different benefits, from avocado, Jamaican black castor oil, grapeseed. It even has peppermint, so it helps stimulate the scalp growth. It's an overall fantastic oil. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. I will link it in the comments below. But we are just going to take a little bit. Now, as far as the mousse goes, I am using the AG Hair Care Mousse Gel. That way I get solid hold. Maybe it'll lay a little flatter because it's a combination of mousse and gel. Okay, so now we wait. So you can blow dry your braids with like light air pressure and warm air. I'm gonna let them air dry just for a little bit so that that mousse gel can set before I put heat on them. Obviously my edges are absolutely trash because I haven't touched them in like a good week and a half, 2 weeks. So I'm going to do those. I am going to let it air dry, then blow dry a little bit, and then I will come back and show you guys the results. All right, my hair is about 85–90% dry. It has been several hours. As you can tell, it is darker outside than whenever I first came and recorded, and my hair is still damp. And that is also after using a blow dryer on part of it to help speed it along. So, oh my gosh, the patience that people have for braids, like, how do you guys live with hair that's just like perpetually damp? So yeah, I'm gonna go and continue blow drying probably in a little bit. I just wanted to let it settle so that I don't potentially contribute to more frizz, but overall it's looking really like significantly better. My edges turned out a lot better this time than they did the time before, so I'm figuring it out. They're still not great. Please don't come for me, I'm learning. But for the most part, yeah, I'm really happy. My scalp feels so much better, definitely not itchy. I did go in and I put some Shine and Jam on the edges to kind of like restructure that and like keep that intact. You obviously, like as I told you guys before, I knew that doing this was not gonna help the little bits of my own hair that were already coming out of the braids. That's obviously only gonna get worse the longer that I wear the braids. I'm hoping that I can maybe get another week out of them, but it really just depends on how they look going out through the rest of this week. I am going to put a little bit of Verb Ghost Oil on them now to help with the shine and the moisture since they are still a little bit damp. I want to capitalize on that before they get 100% dry. And as the week goes on, I'll probably add a little bit more to my ends just to keep that up. Et voila. All right, so now we just let it sit. Let it dry for the next 16 days, since apparently that's how long it's gonna take, but that is how you wash box braids. So hope you guys learned something. I know I definitely did, and the biggest thing I learned was that it takes forever to dry. But again, we're all learning, we're all growing, we're all trying to figure out how to essentially be ourselves.